Hey guys, it's me, Moth Marauder, and for this figure review video, we are going to be looking at Bandai's Godzilla 1954. Now, like always, let's start off with detail. This is actually really accurate to his appearance in the original 1954 Godzilla movie, which is sometimes called Gojira. But yeah, like I said, this is very, very accurate to his appearance, and the detail, texture, or whatever, is very nice. These rolls right here, those are very nice looking. Like, that's one of my favorite features about this figure. These, like, rolls on his stomach and on his shin area. I think that's the shin area, but yeah. Then there's, like, a roll or flap or whatever right where my finger's at, which looks really freaking nice. Kind of makes it look more like it's a suit, like it actually was in the movie. So yeah, the dorsal plates look really nice, and the face is pretty good looking too. The teeth are, I mean, not the teeth, sorry, the toes are very nicely done. And, yeah, the mouth's pretty good. Oh, and the neck. Neck is really well done. So, yeah, detail and texture is very nice and accurate. Same thing goes with the paint job, where, I mean, well, he's all grayish with some, light gray areas and as well as some silver. There's some highlights on his chest and his knees there, and his dorsal plates. Well, the areas between his dorsal plates are they're lighter gray, and there's also some light gray on the tail, and his tongue is actually gray, which looks really, really nice. The eyes are really nicely done when it comes to paint job. And, yeah, it's just very, very well done when it comes to paint job. Oh, also, I know that, I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I'm not really bothered by sizing or accuracy when it comes to sizing or whatever. For example, I'm not bothered when it comes to, oh, this figure's way too big for this figure, or Silvergun is way too small for Gamora, that sort of thing. I honestly don't give a rat's ass when it comes to that. However, however, I'm going to be comparing this 1954 Godzilla with other 1954 Godzilla figures. First, let's try the quote-unquote first Godzilla figure made by Bandai Creations. So yeah, this is just a comparison of the two 1954 figures. Bandai Creation, Bandai Japan. So yeah, as you can see for the first Godzilla figure, he's all tubby and fat looking. Or I mean, well, just, he's all big looking like the Heisei Godzilla. I mean, I'll review this guy sometime, but yeah. Just a comparison right there. And here is the NECA Godzilla 1954, which I reviewed a while back. So yeah, just another comparison. So yeah. Now back onto the figure. Articulation. The arms move 360, as you can see here. The legs move. And his tail doesn't, well, like it normally doesn't move, but when I was younger, I broke the glue sealed area on his tail, so it actually can move, but I highly recommend you do not mess with the glued areas of the figure. I mean, I was like very young when I did that, and I didn't know better. But yeah. Anywho, yeah, that is well, for my figure, that is 5 points of articulation, but the figure itself normally has 4 points of articulation. So yeah. And now, last but not least, rarity. Um, this figure I would assume is pretty rare. Um, it's part of a toy series some people call the quote unquote movie monster series. I don't know where the hell they get that name from. And I honestly don't see any real proof of it being called the movie monster series. I mean, the tags that the alleged movie monster series figures uh, come with or whatever, like the tags that they're featured, they don't say movie monster series. I mean, they probably do in Japan, but or I mean Japanese, but I can't read Japanese, so I couldn't tell you. Anywho, speaking of which, this is actually a repaint, I believe. Um, the previous one was darker, and the highlights were a lot more brighter and shinier, and the card was different. For this figure, unfortunately, I've lost the card, but well, shit happens. But yeah, I think this one's more common than the previous uh, figure I mentioned. You know, with the different card and darker paint job and all that. I think this one that I'm reviewing is more common than that one. However, this figure itself is pretty darn rare, I would assume. But yeah, detail and paint job is very, very nice. Same thing. Well, yeah, detail and paint job is very, very nice. Articulation, for my figure, he has 5, but the figure itself in general normally has 4. And like I said, I highly advise you do not break the glued areas of these figures. So yeah. And rarity, I would have to assume, in general, this figure is rare, but more common than the previous release of this figure. Or whatever, but yeah. In the end, he gets a 5 out of 5. I see no real flaws with this figure at all, in my opinion. And the original 1954 is one of my favorite incarnations of Godzilla. And of course, I recommend this to Godzilla fans. Um, so yeah, 5 out of 5. And oh yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this review video. If you have, hit the likes, subscribe, and of course, leave a comment if you want to. So yeah, 5 out of 5, and that is it. This is Muff Marauder signing off.